as we start to continue this back to school month, we're looking at a lot of issues that have to deal with a lot of school related issues like pep rallies, fights, a lot of stuff. That's why we're continuing this month. So tonight, we are dealing with something every kid has to deal with in their hand. Of course, I'm talking about those report cards. You know what those are? It's a piece of paper letting you know about the grades. Now, there's two types of report cards. There's the progress report card. What it basically means is how well the child is progressing. So on one side it has the course with the teacher name. The other side is the grade average. And your grades, and all your grades are determined by how well you perform, how well you participate, and how well you work on your worksheets or your assignments. And really, parents are just pushing their kids to get to that A grade or go to the AB range. Season average, there are three types of passing grades. There's the A grade, there's A+, there's the A, B+, B, C, sometimes D, and there's always F. There's 6 grade types, grade letters. F, 99 to 90, that's 100 to 90, 90 some, that's an A. 90 to 100, that's an A. 80 some to 80, that's a B. 70, that's in a C range. 60, that's an F. Now, a lot of times, you get all F's in your progress report. That just means you gotta have weeks to build up to that. At the end of every week, every 6 weeks, those report cards come out, and it really shows how well your child does to her parents. The biggest tip that I have for you, look at the progress report. If it's all A's and B's, just say, "Good job, Timmy. Keep up the great work." But if it's all F's in the progress report, then the child has to bring up that grade. But it ain't gonna be like that father who made his son destroy the Xbox because he didn't get the good grades. Watch.
It's not my fault.
Let's go.
It's not my fault that I didn't get him.
Let's go.
It's not my fault that I didn't get him, though.
Let's go. You've had 3 weeks, Jason. Let's go.
It's not my fault. My
Too
teacher
bad.
doesn't want to give it to
Let's
me.
go.
It's not my fault.
Now.
I hate my life.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Next one. Let's go. Next one. Let's go.
No.
Excuse you? Pick up the fucking sledgehammer and smash it.
But it's not my fault.
Now.
It's not my fault.
Okay.
my teacher's fault.
Let's go. Let's go, Jason.
I can't.
Do it. Do it or I do it. Do it or I'm going to do it.
I can't.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
Yep, you're going to do it right now. Let's go.
I can't do it.
You're going to do it right now, Jason. Let's go.
I can't do it.
I'm tired of waiting.
I can't.
Let's go, Jason. Pick up the fucking hammer and do it.
That's not what you're supposed to do. Have your child focus on the studies. Say, hey, I need you to focus on your studies, and once you show me you can do that, then I'll give it back to you. That's how it is. Next, those stereotypes in our schools. Rob is going to show you those stereotypes. Then, the type of kids you see in high school. That's all coming up. Okay, up front tonight, those high school stereotypes that you see. Now, being honest here, you've got a lot of school people, you got a lot of those school stereotypes, but a good friend, Rob, is going to show you those stereotypes that you can see when you're in high school. Take a look.
At the party, I drank like 2, 3, 10 freaking bottles, man. Our school is seriously the best. You guys see that football game last night? Man, I would have played so much better that third quarter. I didn't give a fuck about that assignment. I finished the whole essay last night. I tapped her, dog. I'm telling you, she's the one who calls me. Hey, you think I can copy last night's homework? If I finish it today, can I turn it in early? Wait, so like, Earth is spinning? But what is it spinning on? See, I don't like Adele's voice. Bro, Stephanie wants it, bro. She just wants the D, bro. Like, she let me borrow a pen, and she was like, keep it. She fucking wants it. And like, what do you mean after school? Was it something I did? Was it something you said? I'm just so sad right now. You never know how someone feels on the inside. I don't need college, man. I'm already selling that good shit. My parents are literally the worst. Like, they took away the brand new TV and car that they bought me just because I threw a party and set the living room on fire. Can you, like, not? Man, why I gotta be sent to the office again? I didn't do shit. I didn't say This is bullshit. I can't wait to go home and drink. Bro, I knocked him out, man. He didn't even step. It was after school, bro. I just knocked him out. Huh? What? So I slept with Derek in his car, and then I slept with Tom, and his friends found out because of that Snapchat I sent all them, but it's okay because I fucked all his friends too. Hey, you think I should text her after school? Can we leave early today so I can go home and sleep? We broke up. Like, I'm so done with guys. I'm really done with all the dumb-ass guys that ask me out. Hey, yo, girl, let me get your number. Okay. Can we please graduate already?
It ain't like everybody else. We'll get to the type of kids you see in high school in just a minute. But I want to see the other high school stereotypes, how to survive it.
Then you got your infamous popular girls now.
Watch.
Into middle school, high school, or even a college. Congratulations, you're fucked because you're about to see these stereotypes I'm going to portray right now. You're always going to have those group of neutral kids who just walk around minding their own business, which is actually pretty cool. Then there's always that group that that sticks out just because they're the 5 tallest kids in the school and they walk around together. They look like freaking giraffes who escaped the zoo. Then you got your infamous popular girls. Now, popular girls don't mean smart and have a lot of friends. Popular girls means they got a pretty face with some nice melons, baby. If you're pretty, you're gonna be popular. That's really it. Then you got your freaking druggies. You'll stand next to them during lunch or break time or something, and all their conversation is literally just, fuck, dude, I got so high yesterday. Fuck, dude, I remember shrooms. Oh, fuck. Yeah, dude, it just makes everything better, bro. Like, then you got your smart, straight-A valedictorian students who always seem to walk to class giving off a vibe like they're looking forward to it. You got your metalheads in one corner, which are most likely probably just hanging around with other metalheads and playing hacky sack. And you got your gangbangers in another corner, who are literally the only group of people who just stand around and still want to make it seem like they're hardcore. Then you got your school spirit. School spirit kids, mainly girls, probably on the cheer team. Our school's the best and everyone knows it. Pull down your pants and maybe I'll suck it. You know, they always have like insert school name here, pride. Then you got the guy versions of that, which are mainly like those football playing jocks, but they have to have their school pride. Like Westlake school pride, homie. Westlake High school pride. Oh, we whipped them in football last year. They're the type of people who feel the need to take ownership and pride in everything else they do. Got my Bank of America debit card. B of A pride, homie. I eat McDonald's every morning. McDonald's the best. McDonald's pride. You have to have those girls who gossip all the time. Oh my gosh. Did you hear Jessica Streisand-Amblix? She slept with Mr. Anderson, I heard, in the janitor's closet. Well, I heard it was in class right before everyone entered, third period. Well, I heard she was in her period and she still did it. These are grade A tips on surviving high school, or actually any school. Find a group of good kids who can think for themselves, make jokes, have a good time, establish a great friendship with your teachers. Do your work, stay true to yourself, never lie. If something bothers you, say it. If something's on your mind, speak it. Be very real. When people get the vibe that you're very real, you will make real friends. And that's literally all you need for a good time in school. Because let's face it, every other time sucks. I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Love you guys. I'll see you on my next rant. Amy jerks you off. Chelsea big tits. Oh my gosh, did you hear? Miranda free blowjobs. Tiffany huge ass.
Okay. I don't know if we could try to cover all of this, but when we come back, something that we all passed, elementary school, why it sucked, according to Rob, why middle school sucks, and the pep rallies. Stick around. I want to bring you up to date on the Uvalde school shooting. Just 2 days ago, Fox News reported, the mayor alleges that the shooting was a cover-up that attacked in May that left 19 students and 2 teachers dead. The mayor is now accusing state law enforcement of orchestrating a cover-up in the Bob Elementary School shooting in questions remaining as why police didn't engage the shooter. But this is all pointing towards Pete Arredondo, the police chief. He resigned. He resigned as city council member. He's now on administrative leave. I am glad the mayor is speaking up and standing up to the plate. Stepping up to the plate, standing up, speaking up, and stepping up to the plate for what he's done. And I'm glad that they swept. I'm not glad. I'm pissed that they swept this under the carpet. We'll bring you more updates as it goes along, including that video including that testification from that Uvalde sheriff and the officer that asked permission to shoot the gunman outside but got no answer according to a new report from 2 days ago. We'll give you that update tomorrow, which today Give Me Rent continues in just a moment. This next issue is something we've all passed. Elementary. I've known two great teachers, so if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Sorry not to play this video. I want to warn you from Rob, explicit language. So I want to advise this right now for parents. Ask your children to leave the room. If you're under 18, do not watch. If you're over 18, watch. Here's Rob.
Oh, you wild meerkats. Today's rant is gonna be about something we probably already passed, but elementary school sucks. It sucked. It was stupid, especially when you look back at it. I don't know about you guys, but my elementary school made us line up for everything. Oh, we're gonna go outside, line up. We're gonna go drink water, line up. You wanna go take a pee-pee? You gotta stand in a straight line first. What is this, Hitler's regime? I'm trying to think like, oh, what could have that possibly taught us in the future? Or maybe, growing up to be in the army or something? Where do you ever stand in line besides waiting for frickin' McDonald's? Don't get me started with the cafeteria food. That shit was so gross. Starving children in Cambodia wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And I remember when you misbehaved or something, the teacher had to always settle down the class before you went and lined up for lunch, which sucked because, first of all, the food wasn't great anyway. There were those freaking little rectangular pizzas you get, like, in the homeless shelters. Actually, the homeless shelters probably had better food. Here and there, my elementary school had these fresh baked cookies. Those were literally the one thing I always looked forward to because they were delicious. But if you lined up too late, or you were the last class to go out in front of the cafeteria, they always sold out, and no cookies for Rob. I don't understand why they would even make you line up for food. I feel like that SpongeBob episode. Food, water, atmosphere. Then you had all those kids who didn't really feel like playing Foursquare. Who plays Foursquare? What do you just, oh, look at me, throw the ball in between the lines. What the hell was Foursquare? Or tetherball, or, all that nonsense. Yeah, thanks, Mrs. Flowers. You assigned our class today in recess to play tetherball with no ball. There's a string on a pole. What do I look like to you? A fish? Or you get stuck playing with the kid who's always winning at handball, some fat guy McTub-Tub, with secretions coming out of his nose, like freaking, he always seems like he's drooling. Because then you had me and my friends, or a lot of other people who actually brought their Pokemon cards to play. We sat down on the bench or sat down at a table and we were playing Pokemon. Until that one whack job teacher or principal walking around the campus is like, you guys are supposed to be physically active. You can't play Pokemon cards. If I see them, I'll take them away. And they actually did take them away and put it in their office where you have to go and spend detention at to get. And the other thing that seemed like the biggest waste of time, while you learned a few things here and there in class, they always assign that one big project. You know what I'm talking about? The one where you have to go out and build something, like the mission projects or whatever it was. I think to myself now, what was the point of actually building it? Like coloring the grass, putting little rocks, wasting money on crafts and animals and trees just to plot around and paint the thing, and it's like, oh look, I spent a freaking week with my family helping me on this crap, and then I turn it in and everyone gets an A anyway. You could be one of those freaking dumb kids who made one out of popsicles and stuck them together with boogers, and the teacher will still give you a passing grade. And what's the deal with everybody always having to sing? Was there a choir? Was I in choir, or did everyone have to sing? The Christmas thing or holiday performances. We were sailing along on Moonlight Bay. Some god-awful kids who can't sing at all, just yelling. Didn't you love the presentations of puberty? Oh, you're gonna start growing breasts and start sweating. Here's a pack of deodorant. And the worst part of elementary school was actually having a nice event going on, a basketball game or something during recess, so you can get an extra long recess or whatever, and then I end up getting benched. Of course Rob was benched. What am I? Who do you think I am? Some kid who yells funny jokes in class out loud? I'm not loud. When am I loud? You say one joke, literally one joke, where the whole class laughs, and sometimes The teachers have chuckled, and they go, but because you interrupted the class, Robert, you're gonna be benched. And here I am, sitting there on my patoot, watching all my friends have fun, and I'm literally just sitting there going, yep, my life's miserable. Elementary school, glad that's done.
Don't take it from me, take it from Rob. He had trouble with middle school. Now, elementary school. What about middle school? Take a look.
Why I hated middle school. High school was the best. Senior year was amazing. Middle school sucked gorilla balls. Middle school for me had teachers I never liked. It was classrooms full of retards. There were still plenty of moments and plenty of times where we had to line up, single file, orderly lines just to fucking go somewhere. Am I 5 years old? Am I stupid? Everybody was too busy trying to discover their freaking personalities. They were lost within themselves. That's where he determined, do I want to be the douchebag, toolish kid in high school? Or should I be the valley girl slut? This is all determined in the middle school process. Homework every day was a waste of time since I didn't learn jack shit, nor can I even recall a classroom setting where I enjoyed learning about the information. Lucky for me, I didn't pay attention to any of that bullshit, goofed off with my friends, and tried to make the most of it. Then again, I do remember barely some of us got, the cool cell phones where text messaging wasn't even popular yet, and we used those cell phones to call our parents to pick us up after class. Now, I'm guessing, because I see it outside of school, there's a clusterfuck of kids walking around talking about what happened on Instagram, on Facebook, what Chelsea said on her Twitter, how some guy already had sex at the age of 10, and how good 12-year-old Jenny's tits look from that nude Facebook picture she posted everyone's talking about on campus. So I bet that sucks. Glad I missed that. Then there's always those stupid middle school fights where two kids couldn't fucking agree on a free throw in their basketball game, so then they started hitting each other till the campus guy broke it up. Then it became the next talk in the next period class. You were the cool kid if you saw that fight. How nutritious was the little school store vending machine, since everyone walked down with hot Cheetos and soda, and the cafeteria food was fucking cardboard and plaster. Everything they served, if you packaged nicely in a box and shipped it away to starving kids in Africa, not only would they fucking vomit at the smell, but they'd feel so bad for us, they'd pack up their last grains of rice and ship it right back. Oh god, the exaggerations, excuse me. But it was fucking terrible. Like, oh, can I get a chicken salad? Oh yeah, sure, they get those freaking, canisters of paint, edible grill lines. Smells like chicken to me. Probably the best thing was cereal, because honestly, how bad could you mess that up? Everything else tasted like a fucking camel, regurgitated, vomited back up the food, went, yeah, middle school was the worst. I'll see you guys on my next video.
But not worse than the Pep Rallies. And we'll look at that when we return. The worst thing ever then middle school is Pep Rallies, when our Give Me a Break Back to School Month continues. You ever been to a pep rally before? I never have. I went to every home game. Those here that see me play guitar, you know I go. You know damn well I go to every home game. I support everyone, but the pep rallies. Let me tell you right now. I sat in the cafeteria, and when I didn't want to go to the pep rallies, I would sit in the cafeteria. When I was in high school, I wanted to just get in the damn cars and go home. No. You sit in the cafeteria. The cafeteria. Sit up there, and you wait till the bell. Let's watch this one.
Al Tulips asked me to do a rant on pep rallies. It's been a while since I've been to a pep rally, but point number one is, come on, let's be serious. It's a place for all the horny guys to go and stare at the girls in their cheerleading outfits. Hey, look, Megan's got the nicest ass. The girls, for some reason,
Sexual
seem to be
harassment.
so spirited. Like, you know, you're gonna graduate and leave the school. I don't know how much school pride you can have. As if they helped build it brick by brick. And their choices of music are awful. It's always like whatever is hip and popular on the radio, and you have to sit through it like this, looking like some stupid sheep. It's a place where everyone just sits down as friends and complains about school. Which realistically, I don't even know why people would complain while they're going to school. Like in these pep rallies, they'll sit down and be like, oh, you know, my tits are sore, my classes are hard. You have starving African kids running from like 3 cheetahs with no legs trying to get food, and you're over here complaining about like, oh, how your teacher had attitude today or something. You know, like at one point they're like this. Oh my God, Lindsay, like our school is the best. And then the next minute they're like this. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be here, like, I hate this place already. I don't know about you, but I never found the dances at these pep rallies so amazing. As if I'm watching Cirque du Soleil. It's your basic, like,
Now, that's
our
offensive
school
to
rocks,
my friends who are
the other
cheerleaders.
teams suck. But one of the reasons why I won't complain fully about pep rallies because it gets you out of class. Come on, guys. Who doesn't want to have an excuse to just get out of class? Any change of scenery from, okay guys, follow the notes on the book, is good for me. Everyone sits accordingly in these pep rallies. Like the jocks are all together, the douchebags are all together, the popular girls are all together, the chess club are all together, all the little pawns, and the fat kids are all together. And I always hated how they crammed us through the halls where you're walking behind like 5 other hippos. And sometimes you have teachers, I don't know what they're talking about. They're on the mic, they're on the floor like, okay class, today's, you know, most valuable cheerleader is Ashley Firmrack because, you know, her tits are the firmest. She's talking about God knows what in a place that echoes where you can't even understand her. Like, how much school pride can you have? People that built multi-million-dollar companies don't have that much pride. I literally sit there like this, making jokes with my friends until we're out of there. That's the most you could do. But it's funny because I think once like a certain group of girls get together in pep rallies, you know, like there's certain friends that don't have class together, but then pep rallies they can finally sit down together and then complain about like how Jake dumped her, all this stupid shit. And I'm forced to sit there and hear this side conversation where I can't really help it. They're talking right next to me and I'm forced to listen to this crap. They're complaining and literally crying about the smallest things. But people in frickin' Siberia have to worry about their lungs freezing if they breathe in too deep. You have kids running in war zones, dodging bullets just to make it to fetch the water. And these spoiled teens complain about how their mom took off $5 of their $1,000 weekly allowance. Looks like you're gonna be uglier because that means less money for you to spend at the makeup store. Thanks guys so much for watching. Request me more rants and be doing...
Yikes. Now, how about high school? Didn't high school suck? Let's watch.
School ain't shit,
Actually, I'm gonna say that for tomorrow. But there are issues going on in all of our schools. Like I wasn't going to talk about here. But I do have time to show you guys some school lunches. Since we're not going to have time to show you guys that high school rant stream, we're going to save them for Saturday. which is tomorrow, which is today, I do have some time to share with you about the school lunches. Now, let me tell you something. I always ate the school lunch. I always ate my lunch, and whether it was at school, whether I did eating, whether I ate at home, I always ate it. Especially
American Standard Heating
from this one, which really got sick to my stomach. So yeah, I do have time for you to share with you this report. It's a 2-minute report. Yeah, I do have time to show it to you.
The school lunchroom, a place for many students to, well, eat, right? So they can focus on class for the rest of the day.
But some local students say their cafeteria is a different place, a place where they don't even want to taste what's put on their plate. Our Melissa Hippolyte is working for you to find out what's going on, Melissa.
Bill, we learned the person who heads up food services for the schools in King and Queen County was suspended a couple of weeks ago. Yet some parents and students tell us the problem persists. We talked to the suspended employee, and she says she was unfairly punished.
They're awful.
Pictures of burnt pizzas and something so charred it is hard to identify filled Beth Paulette's camera roll.
What is that? Those are the ribs, supposedly.
Paulette says her sons first showed her the pictures of the cafeteria food at King and Queen Central High School on Monday, and other students confirmed their story.
It just looked so unappetizing. I could not even bring myself to even try it at all.
We brought those concerns to Superintendent Dr. Stanley Jones, who was out of town but spoke to us over the phone. Would you want the children here eating food that looked like that? Or being served food that looked like that? Jones admitted there is a problem and confirmed the head of food services for the entire school system was suspended a couple of weeks ago.
If an employee is suspended, generally going to be related to performance.
I have an email that
But we talked to that suspended employee, Suzanne Gilbertson, and she says none of this is her fault.
My cafeteria employees have always been told if you're not going to eat it, don't serve it to the students.
Gilbertson says the superintendent put someone in charge of the high school's cafeteria a few months ago, and she says that person is not properly trained. On top of that, Gilbertson says these emails show that she reached out to Dr. Jones about the issue, but she was told she did not have any authority over the new manager.
I was advised that these employees, they don't report to me as they report to human resources and to the superintendent.
Now, the superintendent also told me he expects his food services employees to work together as a team, and if they did, this issue wouldn't exist. He said he would address the overcooked food with his staff immediately. As for Gilbertson, she plans to address the school board with her concerns at their next board meeting. Working for you tonight, I'm Melissa Hippolyte for CBS 6.
I know I said I would not recommend you eat school lunches, but if that burns, send a picture, take it to the media, but do not post it on social media. Send it, post it on the News Network's News's Facebook page, and they'll do a story. Don't post it on your timeline on Facebook. Just and also there's an issue. Report it to your assistant principal immediately. Immediately. All right. Tomorrow, more school lunches, and does high school really suck? We'll tell you. That's all of this edition of Give Me a Break Friday going to Saturday. We'll see you again for Give Me a Break Saturday night. And for all of us here at YouTube and Give Me a Break, good night, everyone.